talking about FFA today and how FFA and conservation, align with some of the things that we're doing here at the agency. So I'm excited. Thanks for being here, Aiden.
Yeah, thank you.
And Lexi, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anytime that you are within FFA, there's animal stuff, there's plant stuff, there's environmental science, there's things for anybody. And so you get these opportunities and you get to go and build a career off of it. And that's what's so special about FFA, is it leads you to where you're going to be in the future.
Crazy how those teachers impact your life, and
yes, for sure.
Put you on a different path or in a lot of cases, a good path.
Yes.
And I am always impressed with FFA students, how interested they are in things, just their curiosity level, zest for life.
Yes.
And so, Lexi, I appreciate your input in that.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know what I would be doing if I wasn't able to be a teacher, because it's been so rewarding just seeing students like Aiden go from not knowing what he really wanted to do in FFA to blossoming and getting to do this. This is pretty awesome.
You entered this contest. Why fish habitat?
I just thought that would be the right thing to do to help out with the fishes and help with fishing.
Mm-hmm. What did it look like?
It's just a weird arm monster, basically. So
the arm monster. Okay, there's your brand name right there.
Yeah, I could make it a brand like that.
Success. Have you seen success?
There's a dramatic increase in fishing in certain areas.
Wow, that's great.
Sure.
Won't you take me back to Tennessee?
The award-winning Tennessee Wildcast is on the air with the latest info about hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. This year, we celebrate the men and women of the TWRA responsible for 75 years of wildlife conservation. Now make welcome your host, Jason Harmon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee Wildcast. We're glad you're tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We got a great show lined up for you today. Mr. Don King helping me
sure
co-host.
do, Jason. I'm looking forward to this. And, I was just appreciating Chris Hennessy's contribution to the show with that theme song he put together and allowed us to use for our 75th anniversary. And, hey, we're about halfway through the year already. It's unbelievable how fast time's flying.
Crazy how it flies by. 75 years of wildlife and fish conservation.
I know.
But yeah, this year's been a fun year so far.
It sure has. Hey, how about a radio station shout out here? Kicks 96 in Centerville. We are the Tennessee Wildcast Extras play there every day at 5:50 a.m. and Monday through Friday, and then on Saturdays we air at 7 a.m. Saturday morning. So
awesome.
We appreciate Kicks 96 right there in Centerville.
Yeah, we got a lot of great radio partners out there.
We sure do.
TV partners as well, and just appreciate everybody that's listening, watching, sharing, playing, singing along with us, whatever it may be.
Growing every day, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Before we get to our guest, I want to mention a few current events coming up. Just right around the corner next weekend, June 29th, is our Birds, Bees, Bucks, and Trees Festival. Should be fun. It's at Cumberland County Fairgrounds from 9 to 4, and you're going to learn how to create, restore healthy habitats that benefit pollinators, birds, wildlife, all kinds of fun stuff. Going to be vendors, sponsors there, 40 plus booths probably, looks like, according to our event on Facebook. But yeah, check it out. And
very family friendly. Going to have some food trucks there, so you don't even have to worry about packing a lunch. You can pick up food there, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes. If you're a hunter, gardener, nature enthusiast, farmer,
something for everybody,
or just love the outdoors, it's all for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Something else coming up is Operation Dry Water in July. Boating season is hot right now. Folks are out there on the water, and we just have an effort with our law enforcement and even law enforcement on the roads, THP, and then your county officials. They're out there trying to stop drunk driving and drunk boating. So specialized effort there July 4th through the 6th, and we'll be having a press conference on July 1st downtown Nashville. So keep an eye out for that. And then if you're looking to have your deer scored, July 23rd at Morristown office, they're having a deer scoring event.
Oh,
so
nice.
Check that out.
That'd be good.
So those are always fun. And I believe that's the current event. So, hey, Aiden and Lexi, Miss Lexi Gothard, she's the teacher at Green Hill High in Mount Juliet. And then Aiden Windsor is with us today. Talking about FFA.
Award-winning.
Yeah, award-winning for sure.
Yeah.
talking about FFA today and how FFA and conservation, align with some of the things that we're doing here at the agency. So I'm excited. Thanks for being here, Aiden.
Yeah, thank you for letting me be out here.
And Lexi, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're going to dive in today and learn about the FFA, everything that they offer. Like I said, that aligns with some of the things that we're doing here at TWRA. So
Exactly.
Aiden, tell us about yourself.
I'm Aiden. I came all the way from Lebanon to be out here today.
That's a long trip, isn't it?
It's a long trip, yeah.
Depending on what time of day with the traffic.
Yeah, it was pretty easy today. I graduated from Green Hill High School. Just glad to be here.
Yeah.
And you were the one of the class that started as freshmen and got to graduate, went all the way through, first class to go all the way through. So that congratulations on that.
Thank you, sir.
That's great.
Yeah, Green Hill High School is one of the newer high schools in the county there, Wilson County. And so, yeah, that's pretty cool fact there. So, Aiden, graduation was just a few months ago, and now you're heading off to college. What's the future looking like for you? What are you pursuing?
So for my college, right now I'm going to Cumberland, and I'm going to be using the Tennessee Promise. It's a very great program that Tennessee offers to its students. Mm-hmm. I'm going to use the Tennessee Promise. I'm going to go through a law enforcement side at Cumberland University. And then after my 2 years of Tennessee Promise at Cumberland University, I'm going to go to UT Herbert, and I'm going to do 4 years there for wildlife science and natural resources. Either I'm going to go through fisheries or just go normal wildlife at that point.
Very cool. Very cool. So, and your ultimate goal, and I knew this before the show, but ultimate goal, work with TWRA, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Been a passion of yours for a while.
Oh, yes, sir. It's been a passion for a long time.
So when did that kick? When did that start?
Well, whenever I was younger, I just thought, man, great job. Just be outside all day and do what you love all day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty hard to be. A lot of our folks say that.
I know it.
Just being outside and getting to be around wildlife and do the things that they love, and protect the things that they love.
Yes, sir.
Keeping that fish and wildlife population in check and make
healthy,
sure, people are obeying the laws and things like that. So when you're not working and when you're not in school, what do you love to do?
Well, I love doing hunting and fishing, obviously. Just recently, in the past few years, I've gotten into paintball a lot.
Cool.
And I've gotten well enough that I've been offered a few chances at some teams down here in Nashville.
Oh, cool.
So
Sharpshooter too, huh?
All right.
Yeah.
Tactical.
That sounds like fun.
Uh-huh.
That's something I've never really gotten into. I don't even think I've ever been shot by one. I don't know if I've
We
even
can
shot.
change that.
Maybe we'll have to team up.
Yeah.
You can introduce me to paintball. That'd
Yes,
be
sir.
fun.
Hey, I gotta ask you, what's it feel like when you get hit with a
Oh, it's
paintball?
not that bad.
Okay.
So if you ever been hit by a rock while weed eating, that's basically it. Yeah.
And you've got that experience too,
Oh,
because you have a little lawn care business.
Yes, sir. I run my own lawn care business right now. I've my dad did it whenever he was growing up, so I went in his footsteps and doing that. Great opportunity for anyone who's wanting to just make a little bit of money if they're young.
Yeah.
Always recommend it to everyone.
Yeah. People are always looking for a yard.
Man, there's plenty of grass to be mowed in
Yes, there
Middle
is.
Tennessee for sure.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that's great. Great introduction there. And we're going to have to figure out this paintball.
Hey, Aiden mentions his dad. I got to dig a little deeper here. So, who introduced you to the outdoor? How'd you get out there at the first time?
My dad introduced me to
Okay.
the outdoors. He's a big contributor to everything I do today.
Uh-huh.
So he's taught me all of the things I know of hunting and fishing. His father didn't even teach him how to hunt and fish. He actually had to go to one of his friends to learn how to do it. That's how much he loved it.
Uh-huh.
He went fishing with his friend once and then just stuck forever. So he always goes to him, and they always do everything together.
That's neat.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. A lot of times, sometimes your parents aren't into that, and that you have to learn from somebody else. In my case, my uncle was big into the outdoors, and that's how I, got into it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But my dad loves to fish. We fish sometimes, but the hunting side was my uncle. But yeah,
That's
cool.
great.
All right. Well, Miss Lexi Gothard, teacher at Green Hill, and
Yep.
you were Aiden's teacher
Yep.
before he graduated. So tell us about yourself, and then we'll dive into this award that Aiden received.
Okay. So I went to Stewart's Creek High School and was an FFA. I graduated in 2017. And then after I graduated, I went to Mississippi State University and got my agriculture education degree. And while I was there, I actually did a lot of wildlife classes because it was something that interested me. And so it was just, we were partners, our agriculture education class with the wildlife from resources part. We did a lot of partners and stuff like that. And so just being here is like really cool because I get to see TWRA and like what all they do, which is really cool.
Very cool.
And so I graduated in 2021 with my bachelor's, and then I got a job at Green Hill High School. And this is my 4th year. I teach the small animal science, vet science, and large animal science classes.
Very cool. And you have some animals yourself?
I do, lots of them.
So when you're not teaching, what are you doing?
I'm normally at home reading a book, outside normally with my dogs. And then I also work at a marina part-time, just like helping with boats and all of that stuff. So it's really fun.
So you probably run into our boating officers
Yeah.
time to time.
All the time.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Well, the whole reason we're here today was, Aiden won this award, the Environmental and Natural Resources Proficiency Award. Was that given at the convention in Gatlinburg?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So FFA convention in Gatlinburg was this past year, and that's where he received the award. But Lexi, if you'll tell us about the award and what that whole program's about, and then we'll dive into the project and learn more about that from Aiden.
Okay. So first I want to talk about what a proficiency is, because
Okay,
some
cool.
people may not know what that is.
Perfect.
So a proficiency is basically where a student is learning skills while they're doing their supervised agricultural experience, or SAE. So within the natural resources part, they are using their skills that they are learning with their project to better the environment and conserve and just make a better world for us. So
Very cool.
yeah.
So so that's the award. And so Aiden, you built fish habitat, right?
Yes, sir. I
So
did.
tell us about that project. How did that get started? What were your thoughts? And like you entered this contest, or went to this path. Why fish habitat?
It was something I have a little bit of experience with. I've thought about making fish habitats before, but never really put too much of a thought into it until I figured out, hey, I can make this an easy project for my FFA and AET experience. So I just went through looking at different designs on how to make them, watching lots of YouTube videos on smart designs for it, easy designs, nothing that's going to cost too much, and something that's going to be effective as well.
Cool. All right. So I had a few thoughts on it here. So some of the materials. What were some of the materials you used for this project?
So for a lot of the materials, they're all sustainable. They're all healthy for the environment. They're not going to leach any plastics off. Any sort of contaminants are going to get into the water. All what I used for my project was concrete blocks, concrete, and some 1-inch electrical tubing.
1-inch electrical tubing. Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome. So the process. Let's talk about the process. So how did you pull all this together into that habitat? What did it look like?
So it's just a weird arm monster, basically. So
The arm monster.
Yeah.
Okay, there's your brand name right there.
yeah, I could make it a brand like that. But mainly what I was trying to do was recreate a brush pile on the bottom of the ground in the water. So I just looked at some trees. I have this great thing called a live scope.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm able to actually look under the water very well. And I looked at some of the things that fish were staying around. So I prioritized overhang over the fish, and also a little bit of cover for them to swim inside of for the nesting purposes.
Right. Yeah. Very cool. So your research wasn't only on YouTube,
Right.
out there with LiveScope.
Out there doing it. Yeah. Tell us about what. I'm not familiar with LiveScope.
Oh, Don, not familiar.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm a newbie here with this.
So LiveScope, I believe it's just using radar or sonar. I'm not too sure on the exact
The
specifics.
technology
of LiveScope.
side of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but we have ours on a little stick, and then we can shine it into a certain area, and then it will project the image onto like our little Garmin that we have, and it will show a very crisp, clear image. It's clear enough and crisp enough that you can see your lure going down to the fish.
Oh, wow.
So it just makes it very easy for fishing.
If I'm not mistaken, it's very popular with crappie fishermen.
Yes, sir.
And probably a lot of other fishermen too. But
Yes,
I
sir.
can see it, especially with crappie. Yeah.
That's the main fish that we fish for. So a lot of some of the habitats that we did make were prioritized for crappie, but other than that, fish just like brush in general. So we've caught bass, stripe, whole bunch of fish on them.
yeah,
And these are important because, I mean, over time, lakes that had good habitat going in when the waters were first flooded there and all just degrade over time and finally just are not there anymore. So this is to help replace a lot of that kind of thing, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know TWRA already has some of their initiative out there for restoring some of the habitat for the fishes. So I thought it would be a great idea to help out with that and contributing to the fish population and the lake at Percy Priest. So I just thought that would be the right thing to do to help out with the fishes and help with fishing.
more opportunity for those fishermen out there.
Yes, sir.
So that was my next question. Success. Have you seen success? Have you fished your spots? Have you had friends fishing your spots?
Yes, sir. I've had great success on fishing those spots. I put them in areas where I know there's been no brush. I've looked around on the bottom of the area and I've seen no brush at all. I introduced the brush into those areas and there's a dramatic increase in fishing in certain areas.
Wow, that's great.
Sir.
That's cool. That's awesome. That'd be good for your resume when you apply for the agency.
Yes, sir.
got that on the resume.
Was that a hard sell to Ms. Gothard when you brought it to her and said, "Hey, this might be my project," or
it was one of my other FFA teachers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
She's no longer there at this moment, but she encouraged me to do it. She thought, "Hey, that's a great idea. You should use that for a project." And I was like, I never thought of that.
There you go. Perfect. Well, so this award, you were awarded this award. How did this impact your life? How has FFA impacted your life thus far, through your high school career?
Mm-hmm. So the award had a little bit of monetary value, so it helped me that way.
Oh, nice.
Yes, sir.
That's perfect.
But I believe it's going to help me get more opportunities and with having this award, because it means I have some sort of dedication to what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
It's better than just going in there with nothing and being like, hey, I want to do this. But if I have something that says, he's done this and he has a lot of just will and want for it.
Yeah, and in your experience, that's going to be a good mark on your resume for college too.
Yes,
moving through. Yeah, that's awesome. That's very cool. Well, on the same lines of FFA, other projects you've worked on, do you have any other FFA experiences you want to share with the folks?
Yes, sir. I have another project for Bullpen. So Bullpen is you make a product and you try to sell it to a group of judges. So we didn't get too far with it, but oh well. My project was QR code ear tags for cattle, sheep, goats. So all what it was an ear tag system for animals where it just had a QR code on it. Anyone can scan it, open up the QR code, and it could show animal information on it.
Cool.
Like health records, herd management, inventory, stuff like that.
What's not to like about that?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a winner to me.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So, I mean, there's all kinds of opportunities through FFA and things that range from agriculture to wildlife to it all. So that's pretty cool. That's fun. All right. Well, along those same lines, what all does FFA offer? Lexi, is that some key points there?
So I feel like FFA is for everybody. There's literally an opportunity for everyone, even if you don't even really think you like agriculture. I did not come from an agriculture background at all. And I took my first ag class and my ag teacher was like, I'm keeping you because you're such a good student. I don't care if you want to go do health science or whatever. She was like, I don't care. You're staying in my classes. And I'm honestly glad she did, because if she wouldn't have, then I wouldn't be here today. And it led me to my career. And so I actually got to do a proficiency whenever I was in high school as well.
Okay, yeah.
And so within that, I did agriculture education. That was my proficiency, and it led me to here, which is pretty awesome. And so anytime that you are within FFA, there's animal stuff, there's plant stuff, there's environmental science, there's things for anybody. And so you get these opportunities and you get to go and build a career off of it. And that's what's so special about FFA, is it leads you to where you're going to be in the future.
You mentioned the teacher, how the impact of those teachers in your growing up, and that's the same, with me. I may not be a drummer today if I hadn't had the teacher say, you're going to play drums in the middle school band, and things like, it's crazy how those teachers impact your life, and
yes, for sure,
put you on a different path, or in a lot of cases a good path.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I am always impressed with FFA students, and I don't know what the thread is there, but I'm always impressed with how they speak to me, how interested they are in things, just their curiosity level, zest for life.
Yes.
And so, Lexi, I appreciate your input in that.
Yeah, for sure.
Your influence.
Honestly, like I don't know what I would be doing if I wasn't able to be a teacher, because it's been so rewarding just seeing students like Aiden go from not knowing what he really wanted to do in FFA to like blossoming and getting to do this. This is pretty awesome and a really great opportunity. And so I'm glad that I'm here today with him for sure.
Good.
Very cool. Well, tell us a little bit about the FFA camps and
Oh, yeah.
I had that on my list. There's opportunities for wildlife and natural resources there, and maybe even touch more on the convention. I know we were there, but just tell folks about what that is.
Yeah, so I'll start with FFA camp. So within FFA camp, it's a week long, 5 days, and you get to take a leadership class, and then just like a kind of like a interest, agriculture interest class. So within the leadership classes, you have if you are going to be an officer, they have different courses for officers, and then they have if you're not really going to an officer, you don't really know what you want to do, they have a general course that's just like leadership. And then within the more agriculture-based classes, they have things like the wildlife resources, natural resources, even geocaching. So we're always doing something. We're always outside when we're there. We're hardly ever inside when we are inside. It's because we're in a session or we're in class, but a lot of the classes go outside because we'd rather be outside, right? So, and it's a lot of fun. You get to fish while you're there. You get to kayak. You stay in a little cabin, and you get really close with all your friends and all that. And so it's just a lot of fun that a lot of kids really enjoy. So
I bet you meet a lot of new people too.
Oh,
it's
yes.
not all from the same school and whatnot.
yeah, so there's probably, I know whenever I was there last year, I think there was 10 to 15 other chapters, which is pretty awesome. So
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah.
Well, and you mentioned the wildlife paths in that, but there's ag too, right? I mean, there's
Yes.
a lot of, so I mean, you're outside with ag all the time. It's all outside.
Oh yeah, yes.
So what's some of the ag paths in case somebody's interested in those?
So within the ag paths, it's more of the leadership type thing, just because at camp, it's a leadership camp. And so they want you to really focus on the leadership aspect of agriculture, because when you're in classes, that's what you're normally do. You're doing the agriculture part.
Gotcha.
Whereas at camp, it's more of a fun leadership type thing. And so there's not really specifics to do within ag. Yes, we're learning ag and everything, but it's more of leader, being a leader within agriculture type stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Well, and then the conventions, or I guess it's the convention, not multiple, but Aiden, you won the award there. Tell us about your experience there and what that was like, and then we'll touch on maybe more about what all's involved there.
So the FFA conventions are a great opportunity for students who are wanting to get into a new area of agriculture or just meet new people.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend it if someone who just gets into a high school, probably late into the year, they just transferred in. Go to your FFA, meet with your chapter advisor, and then talk to them about being in the FFA, and it'll help a lot with making friends in a new school.
Yeah. Connect with like-minded folks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. With the convention as well, you just grow a lot while you're there. You learn a whole lot. You can go to a bunch of classes. They have, the classes are mainly on leadership, practice, improving your leadership for your chapter. And it also just really helps you grow closer together with all your chapter mates.
I see a theme here, Don. You talked about how well spoken FFA sponsors are, and
no wonder
polite, leadership. So I can see that.
Exactly.
So,
hey, and it's summer vacation time now.
Yeah.
And we're usually a teacher kind of gets a little respite during that time, but I understand that that's not quite the case, right, Lexi? With you?
Yeah, unfortunately not. I still get like that week long at camp, so I guess I'm getting a little bit of a vacation almost. And like we could take a vacation if we wanted to, but just with my animals and things like that, I don't really trust anyone else to care for them. And so I always just try to make sure that I plan around that. And so, I mean, although I don't get like a full summer like everybody else, I still enjoy what I do and wouldn't trade it for anything. So
tell us about your animals.
Yeah, so at the school, I have a rabbit, guinea pigs, hamsters, chinchillas, leopard geckos, crested geckos, bearded dragons. Anything you can think of, I probably have it.
Wow.
I'm a little confused here. I thought she had animals at home, taking care of animals on a farm or something.
No.
That's why she's at school there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not a farmer. I just have my animals at school, and then I have 3 dogs at home and 2 cats. So I've got a little bit of mix.
Yeah.
I bet those are fun for the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Or students, young people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We do a lot of different hands-on activities within my classroom that have to do with those animals. And I don't know what I would be able to do without those hands-on experiences, because they're not going to learn from me sitting there lecturing all day.
Right.
If we didn't have those animals, we wouldn't be able to, they wouldn't learn. So it's better. And I think it's just pretty awesome to have. So,
yeah.
So other than the animals and the book study and the lecture, what else is involved with a class sometimes? What's some of the things y'all do in a class in FFA?
So within our class, it's a 3-circle model. So we have our SAE, we have the classroom environment and lab, and then we have FFA. Sorry.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So we try to include all of those every single day while we're in the classroom. So FFA would be something like a competition. So like for my veterinary science classes, I try to prepare them for our FFA competition, vet science. And so they would take the class and then eventually go and do the competition and maybe even win.
Okay.
So
Nice. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Preparing for the future.
yes, for sure.
Well, this has been fun. Aiden, thank you for
letting me be out here. I enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah, well, good luck with your adventures in school and pursuing the career here at TWRA. Maybe we'll see you down the hall sometime or in the field.
And the Tennessee Promise is the deal of the century, I tell you.
Oh, yes, sir, it is.
It's awesome. Glad you're taking advantage of that. That's really good.
Yep, for sure. Lexi, thank you for filling us in on all things FFA and being with us today, and glad you got to come by the office today.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah.
Don, thank you.
Sure enough.
This is another episode of Tennessee Wildcast. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And keep coming back. Subscribe, share us, and we'll see you next time.
Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Join us as we celebrate 75 years of conservation in our great state. You can invest in Tennessee's wildlife future by purchasing a license at GoOutdoorsTennessee.com. That's GoOutdoorsTennessee.com.